Gather round, children, and Granny will tell you a story. Warm yourself by the fire before we travel together to the mist-shrouded slopes of Mount Waryong, South Korea, where 5 curious boys set off to gather salamander eggs and vanished into the deepest mystery South Korea has ever known. It began in 1991. 5 small friends were closer than brothers. Their homes formed a circle in a quiet village in Daegu's Dalseo district, and they often played together near the rice paddies. March 26th was a spring morning and a national holiday for South Korea's first local elections in 30 years. The 5 boys cared nothing for the rise of democracy. They were just delighted to have the day off school. Together they slipped away after breakfast, planning to hunt for salamander eggs near Mount Waryong. By early afternoon, concern grew. One father received a call from the Taekwondo Academy. His son hadn't shown up. Soon, all 5 families realized their boys were missing. They began searching the mountain, but found no trace. The first frantic call to police was mostly dismissed as runaway lads, but it marked the start of a national panic and whispers of a sinister cover-up. On day 4, a mysterious voice phoned one family. "I have the children. They're suffering. 2 are very ill." It was a ransom demand, and police accompanied the parents to the drop-off, only to wait in vain as no one appeared. Meanwhile, over 500 leads flooded in, each a dead end. Investigators and the media now chased every shadow. Days turned into weeks. The parents appeared on a national TV program, expressing frustration with the investigation. During the live broadcast, a call came in. Someone claiming to be one of the boys, sobbing and asking for his mother. Hope surged, but it was a cruel prank. The fathers quit their jobs and rented a small lorry plastered with photos of their sons. They travelled across the country, distributing pamphlets and searching tirelessly, traversing highways in rain and snow to keep hope alive. They faced false leads and prank calls. For months, they were even under surveillance by intelligence agents. Why? What could government spies be hiding that made them interfere in the desperate parents' investigation? One father, overwhelmed by grief, became addicted to sleeping pills. Yet, the parents refused to relent. In 1994, criminal psychologist Kim Ga-won accused Jong-sik's father of burying the boys beneath his own home, prompting a sensational toilet excavation that yielded only a single child's shoe, long outgrown, and much public outrage. No arrests followed, and the theory collapsed under its own absurdity. Jong-sik's father died shortly afterwards, crushed by grief and false accusation. He was just 40 years old. 11 long years later, the fathers had given up. Broke and broken-hearted, they had faced the future as best they could, to take care of the family they still had and rebuild their tattered lives. September 26, 2002. 2 men collecting acorns on Mount Waryong stumbled upon tattered clothes and bones in a ravine that had been searched countless times. The police initially suggested hypothermia, but the Korea Alpine Federation scoffed. It's not even 100 meters from the streets. From here, it would take just 5 minutes to run home if the boys were cold. An expert found the burial too deliberate for a natural death. Empty cartridges and unused bullets were knotted in one boy's sleeves. traces from the 50th Infantry Division's shooting range. The 15-year statute of limitations ran out in 2006, just months after the bodies were found. Only in 2015 did lawmakers abolish time bars for first-degree murder, keeping alive a slim thread of hope that new evidence might resurrect the case. The military acknowledged that the bullets found were from their shooting range, but denied any involvement. On that fateful March 26, 1991, Mount Waryong hosted more than just curious boys. An army base lay to the left and a rifle range to the right, both scarcely 200 meters from where the boys disappeared. A friend later recalled hearing a singular rifle shot, followed by a child's terrified scream echoing through the pines. The military insisted no drills took place that afternoon, but commissioned officers, unlike enlisted men, could practice alone, especially on public holidays. Forensic experts uncovered blunt force trauma on the boys' skulls and precise cuts inconsistent with natural causes, suggesting the crime went beyond a stray bullet and into planned concealment. Some bones bore scrape marks, deep gouges, and punctures that hinted at an effort to silence witnesses and erase evidence. The theory goes, an officer, finishing leftover rounds, accidentally killed one boy. In a panic, he, or those tasked to protect him, silenced the remaining 4 with the closest tools at hand and buried all 5 in a ravine. A ravine that had been searched countless times since the boys were reported missing. Local police, perhaps pressured by military brass, dismissed eyewitness accounts and coldly classified the boys as runaways, burying the case under layers of bureaucracy and silence. No officer has ever been named, no service record released, and no military log unsealed. No one has ever been charged. In 2004, the boys were finally laid to rest. Their ashes were scattered in the Nakdong River so they could float away into the Pacific Ocean. The parents, still seeking justice, filed lawsuits against the police for mishandling the case, but lost. On the 30th anniversary of the boys' disappearance, Daegu unveiled the Frog Boy Memorial, 5 small buds reaching skyward, a silent plea for justice. Yet the forest still whispers. Who will capture the one we saw doing this terrible thing? Who will win justice for the 5 children who lay here in our arms for all those years, silently watching from afar as their parents' tears endlessly flowed? So, good children, remember them. When a forest grows too still, when shadows stretch too long, think of the Frog Boys, Cheol Won, Chan In, Ho Yon, Jong Sik, and Yong Gyu. Stay close to home, keep your lanterns lit, and never forget. Sometimes the greatest adventures end in darkness, and only remembrance lights the way home. Sleep well, and check your window.